Don't do this if you don't want your code hacked. One line can destroy your database. Meet the king of vulnerabilities, SQL injection. This happens when you directly insert user data into queries. Want to see an example? Let's go. I've created a bank simulation project where users input their account number and password to view their balance. Here's how it looks with normal data. The user enters their account number and password, then gets their bank account data. Now, let's examine the code implementation in detail. It consists of two parts, a controller and a repository. The controller takes the account number and password as input and passes them to the repository. The repository then creates an SQL query from the user input. But watch how it builds the query. User data is inserted directly into the SQL query. This means the function is vulnerable to SQL injection. Let's test this in practice. We'll open our browser again and try entering an SQL injection like this. We see we've extracted all account data from our bank using a simple SQL injection. Let's examine why. When forming the account number string, we input the user's entry, which in this case is 1. So this SQL query displays all bank accounts in the system and the password isn't necessary here. Users can also input any SQL command, for instance. When executing this query, the entire bank account table will be deleted. To prevent such errors, all user data should be sanitized. It's better to use specialized frameworks instead. Rather than manually forming SQL queries, we can use a Spring JPA repository. This solves all our problems. I've already implemented such a repository. You can look at its code and we'll see what happens if we replace the vulnerable repository with a secure one. Let's open the browser and attempt an SQL injection again. JPA's repo prevents SQL injection by escaping user input, ensuring only valid data enters queries, thus blocking SQL injection attempts. For more info, like and subscribe.